So one of the heroes of the Bodyography range has to be our foundation primer. I think why this product is so successful and is one of our leaders in the market has to be because of its active ingredients. So first of all, the Bodyography primer is a water-soluble silicone-based product that is vitamin rich with an active ingredient of Damaxil. For those who don't know what Damaxil is, the easiest way to explain it would be it mimics the same effects as a retinol or a vitamin A. It'll help with repair and I guess collagen production. So it has been clinically proven to reduce fine lines and wrinkles up to 40%. And of any other cosmetic product on the market, our Bodyography foundation primer has the highest percentage of that active ingredient than anything else. So it's a real tick to us, I think, to have this product and have such a concentration of that active ingredient, because it is clinically proven that you will get max benefit from using this primer above any others. The way that a primer works, and in particular ours, is in two different ways. The first being, if you were to think of painting a wall, so if you think of the surface, and if that wall surface has some bumps along it or raised areas, this primer acts like a bit of a polyfiller, or I guess a porosity equalizer if you like. So the primer itself gives you a really even planed surface to begin with. So then the paint or foundation that you pop over top of that undercoat or that primer gives you a really even finish. So if you were to think about painting a wall that hasn't been prepped versus painting a wall that has, we know what the difference is going to be. The other way that our primers work in a more prescriptive way happens to be thinking about the product in a color correction method. So if you think about different people's skin coloration or different tone, if you were to use one primer on every single skin type, then you're going to be going in with something clear. But what you have to remember is that whatever product you put over top of someone's skin, you generally have a residue of what that underlying pigment is coming back through, unless it's full coverage. So if you're a client that is wanting to wear a BB cream, our sun defense tinted moisturizer, even a natural finish, which is a medium-based liquid foundation, you can be more prescriptive on the primer first to set up your foundation to have a better end result. And our primers can be used with any foundation. So the color range is here. So if we think about this in a color correction way, if you had any redness in your skin, so if we're thinking blemishes, even rosacea, too much warmth or redness under your eyes or anywhere on your skin, our green foundation primer will counteract that tone. This little nudie pink color, for those of you who perhaps don't have enough warmth in your skin, so if your skin is too fair and you're wanting to warm up your complexion a touch before you put the foundation over the top, that'll replace any of that underlying pigment that perhaps some of us have that others don't. So we're going to warm up the skin if we need to, so if your skin is perhaps too fair. Then we have a purple primer. So if we think about these colors on a color wheel, what we want to do is utilize these to counteract what color sits opposite that color on the color wheel. So if your skin tone generally throws a little bit too much of a gold or yellow reflect, so some nationalities or skin types naturally have a little bit more of that golden yellowy undertone to it. This will counteract the yellowness and take you back to a neutral place before you can pop the foundation over the top. One of my favorites is this little guy, which is for those clients who either have a naturally darker complexion, or if you find that you're the client type that spends a lot of time or applies a lot of bronzer, or if you generally get a spray tan and your face remains a little bit fairer because you spend so much time cleansing, so you're cleansing the spray tan off. This primer deposits a little bit more warmth and pigment that will mimic someone who has a darker skin type or a tanned or an artificial tanned complexion. And then you can pop your foundation over the top so you get more even tones, so you don't have that line of spray tan to fairer face. Clear. The clear primer is probably the most versatile in my opinion. The other reason that I think this one is the most versatile is because it's a mattifier. So this has an oil control property to it, which if you have a skin type that generally gets a little bit oilier, or if you want to make sure that your foundation or your finished result is more matte, then this is the primer that you're going to want to use. Pushing those aside, there is one other primer that's in the range that isn't a silicone-based product, and that is our hydrating primer. So our hydrating primer is a rose water base, so it is naturally more hydrating. It still has the same vitamin concentration that the others do. It's just a different finish. So for those skin types that are a little bit drier or need more hydration, especially mature age skin, I find that the hydrating primer is really important. It plumps you up and sets up your skin so it gives you a more dewy finish. So if you're wanting that natural sheen or that sort of plumpness and youthful appearance to your foundation, then I would come in with the hydrating primer. The other beautiful thing about this product is the fragrance. It's really lovely, and it doesn't have the same viscosity that our other primers do. It feels like a lotion or something that smells and feels a lot more luxurious than the others. So hydrating primer, my go-to. But other than that, the other foundation primers are very prescriptive. So we can get really personalized with these products and make sure we do all the prep work first before we pop your foundation on. All right.